Harrison Mevis to kick it away. Xavier Leggett waits. Just about everything went right that day for the Panthers. Rams looking for revenge. One of the favorites looking to move on. Off we go from Charlotte.
Go.
It's a short kick. And it's returned to the 25-yard line.
Down the list of every significant area.
Drake May going to be Stafford or May. Head-to-head for MVP. Going end zone. Puka Nacua, and just like that, Los Angeles is on the board. Nacua with his third catch of the drive. It's a 14-yard touchdown.
That time he aligns in the backfield in a traditional running back set. You just don't get the same matchups and checks for the Panthers.
Rams get the short field. Drive starts at the 45-yard line, and 40 of the yards are covered by.
Not a real high volume attempts down there, but he doesn't take sacks at as high a rate as he did early in his career. He's better on extended plays. We saw that in that Week 13 game. So certainly a lot of improvement. By no means.
Try it again here against a four-man rush. Verse is coming. Young gets rid of it to Tremble, and they've got another third down conversion. Tommy Tremble, career high in catches. His
to bring four, and just mentioned his ability to extend these plays just a little bit longer, give himself time to find a target.
Quick throw to the roll, McMillan. First down inside the 45. The lone rookie with more than 1,000 receiving yards, probably going to be the 7 out of 11 so far. Looks to throw. First read taken away. Rips it over the middle, and it's picked off. Kobe Durant the interception.
Then run through that zone, and Coker just feels Quentin Lake there and thinks he's going to throttle. So young quarterback, young wide receiver.
They're down 1-0 today. Man late getting on the field there. They hand it off to Kyron Williams, taking advantage of the Panthers not being set up. Williams has 8 yards. There's Bobby Brown there late to the party. Seed Carolina Panthers.
See, just a team that's been in the postseason, a team that.
2nd and 2. Back to the air with Stafford. One-handed catch by Colby Parkinson, and there's the first look at a Rams tight end, and I'll just let you take over, Greg.
Listen, I actually texted McVay this week.
First down and 10 for Stafford and the Rams at the 25-yard line to begin this second quarter. Handoff, Kyron Williams makes a cut, darts ahead inside the 20. Head coach, he's 8-5 in the postseason. He's 5-0 when he leads after a quarter. Looking for his second ring. Offensive mastermind trends. On 2nd and 4, it's Williams again. And he's stopped by Bobby Brown. 3rd and short.
What do they say, Joe? Imitation's the greatest form of flattery. Well, when Sean McVay took over for this Rams team, a lot of game reps because so many of these disciples of McVay and Shanahan are running offenses around the league. They're getting into the games and they're getting it in practice. So his ability to evolve this offense is one of his strengths.
Nacua's got it for a first down, beating Christian Roseboom. When Sean McVay zigs, the whole league zigs. And
won that drop back passing game, won him the Super Bowl.
First down and goal. Back to the ground. Here's Kyron Williams. Lowers the shoulder. Runs to the 5. 5.92. More than anybody back to what he did with Jared Goff.
Right, but the latest evolution is it looks like what he did in the early days with Jared Goff, but there's a lot at quarterback.
Look out for Devontae Adams down here. They give it to Puka Nacua, though, and Nacua breaks tackles and gets his second touchdown. Puka Nacua having himself one heck of a day. With Adams deployed off to the right, you know, the Panthers are thinking the same thing. They're going to be hungry to get him involved down there. They go the other way to Nacua, who's got his second touchdown in
additionally more of like a 3 wide receiver type offense. They're just doing it with a bunch of big bodies.
First play of the drive is a Chuba Hubbard run for 3. And
one of the things that when you take a look at the Rams, what they do so well is they play virtually the entire game from the lead. They're one of the best teams in the league at area of emphasis and concern for Dave Canales, and so far it hasn't played out.
Young under pressure again. It's Ford coming after him. He gets loose, throws on the run. Jalen Coker snags it. Perhaps atoning for stopping his route and leading to an interception on the left.
When Hunt's been out.
Yeah, you got to wonder how good can a guy be expected to be.
It's hard. You can only block the trainer with the pad so many times late in the season.
Jared Verse not the trainer. Looking long here, letting it fly. There's McMillan, put it right on the 4.
Bowlers and all pros, that's where they live. But get the ball on the perimeter, get the ball out of Bryce Young's hand, and try to time.
From the 33, play action. Given time, steps up over the middle. It's McMillan again. To the 11. Second consecutive grab for the rookie. This one goes for 21.
Necessarily for the offensive rookie of the year, but McMillan started fast, finished a little slow down the stretch, but
can get a first down here without scoring a touchdown, just outside of the 10. They hand it off to Chuba Hubbard. Breaks a tackle and gets to the 4. Chuba Hubbard, 1,200 yards last year to earn a new contract, but this year injured his calf, lost his
stretch, and now Chuba Hubbard seems to be getting more of the load.
Second and goal. Spot where the Panthers have to have it. Looking to throw for it. Young lofts it back of the end zone and incomplete. Bryson Tremaine is defended by Durant. Pressure coming from Tyler Davis. Let's check in with Christina.
Well, Robert Hunt remains in the injury.
Dealing with it again, and if you could pick one guy to put in bubble wrap and not lose, it would be Ike Ekwonu. 3rd down and 3. It's a pass. Young dances, throws, back of the end zone, flag flies. Pass interference on Kobe Durant, defending Xavier Legette.
Yeah, so he's just not playing the ball. Just doesn't see it. He just a lot of contact there, and you see from the eyes of Kobe Durant.
Here comes Hubbard, straight into the end zone for the Panther touchdown.
Of that big free agent spending to solidify the interior of this offensive line. Robert Hunt, we've talked about him dealing with injury.
And a young quarterback in Bryce Young. Marches him down the field. The extra point from Ryan Fitzgerald makes it a 14-7 game. And it's a treat here that the weather has not necessarily muddied up this game. About 110% chance of rain, but it hadn't rained a drop.
Yeah, fun trivia question. What's the only play in NFL football you're going to have 12 guys on the field legally?
The kickoff of the holder.
Kickoff in a windy day.
On NBC and NFL Network, and you figure that guy will be there with a chance to win MVP in his 17th. Start the drive with a run, and Blake Corum gets 5. You're talking about the evolution of the offense. And remember talking to Matthew Stafford earlier this year, we asked him what keeps him going. He said, I just love to do hard things.
One cool perspective, he said, you know, when I was in Detroit, I threw for 1,000,000 yards, but he said the game plan was go and gun and win us the game. And if I played well, we had...
False start. Offense number 17. Right penalty for second down.
You don't want to upset anybody.
Tell you what. Yeah. He's just so impressive.
Flag again. Devontae Adams has it, and he's tackled right away by J.C. Horn. Flags flying all over the place, though, as Horn brings down Adams. And this crowd.
Offensive offsides, number 18. The 5-yard 19.
For a team that is the least penalized team in the NFL in 5 years.
Yeah, the official called it 18, but it was number 19, Xavier Smith. Terrence Ferguson, number 18.
Has a wide open man. It's Higbee stumbling free inside the 35. Tyler Higbee.
And earlier, this tight end group, it could just do so much. Nick Scott.
What's he doing?
He's the down safety. Now, Carolina forced Matthew Stafford to check the ball down.
Corum. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Turk Wharton, who missed the last month with a hamstring injury, has made a couple of plays in his first game back. Now, the Panthers defensively,
personnel plan, who's on the field and how you're going to match them. And then you have to match this explosive passing game, because if you don't make them go the long way and really earn it, they can just score too fast.
Is what's going to unfold over the next month. On 2nd and 9, Matt Stafford looks to throw. Puka Nacua driven down by Trayvon Merrick, who's been a stud.
These zone coverages and find open targets.
Everybody up by the line of scrimmage. Just one deep safety for the Panthers. On 3rd and 3. sideline. Adams climbs the ladder, but he's out of bounds. Different in the first matchup. And the field goal team's going to come out here, Greg.
Yeah, again, I think there's, you mentioned Mike Jackson. He gets a lot of volume, a lot of targets playing opposite J.C. Horn, and he's had himself a great year.
From 46, right down the middle for the thicker kicker out of Missouri. Back in a moment.
We're still a fade away.
From injury has been replaced by Corbett. On 1st and 10, they started off with a Rico Dowdle run. He spins across the 30 with a gain of 8. Down to Christina.
Yeah, and Robert Hunt remains in that medical tent. But, you know,
2nd and 2. Back-to-back runs. Dowdle hit at the line. It's Josiah Stewart and Ty Hamilton. A couple of the rookies. One from Michigan, one from Ohio State. Having to learn to get along as Rams.